Sheriff, you mentioned you guys served a search warrant. What was this about?
We did. So it was on Railroad Street a few days ago, undercover narcotic purchases. But a lot of these, complaints, the ending result is a search warrant, but the beginning is usually, neighborhood complaints. Mm-hmm. A lot of traffic in and out, short term, basically short time, basically between people coming in and out of the house.
Right.
We always set up surveillance. Of course, we have people that usually always cooperate with the sheriff's office because they just don't want these type of things in their neighborhood. So we had some undercover purchases that were done at this address, and then our SWAT team, of course, because we had some information about some firearms being in the residence and some individuals using some firearms in the previous cases. So we went ahead and our SWAT team and our Special Investigations Unit, which is our narcotics unit, hit the residence. Deplorable conditions. I mean, no electricity. The sewerage was backed up. Our SWAT team almost fell through the floors of the house. So we called in Lieutenant Hines, Jessica Hines. She runs our drug abatement response team after that, which is our partnership with St. Johns County Fire and Rescue, the Board of County Commissioners, code enforcement, and we can basically shut the place down just based on those deplorable conditions. So 4 subjects inside. There were no new names to law enforcement. I've known my entire career, and one individual, Mr. Donaldson, was arrested and, of course, went to the St. Johns County Jail, and the other 3 cooperated. And the big thing was, of course, stopping that traffic coming in out of that neighborhood.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. So it's a good day for our unit. Our unit really has stepped it up. We moved one of our female lieutenants over in charge of the unit. She's over there now. And we finally get the unit up to full staff. It's taken a long time to do that and add some additional positions because of this fentanyl, this battle with fentanyl. So
you got to come with gloves and all the mess, right? Ooh.
Yeah. It's just a different type of enforcement and policing. But our men and women and I hate to use this term, but they're not scared. We provide them all the PPE protection and stuff, but they're just not scared because if we go a 12-hour shift without a report of some type of fentanyl arrest, it's very, very out of the ordinary, or some type of fentanyl overdose. I mean, a guy last night snorted fentanyl.
What?
And I saw the city of St. Augustine's report on their briefing to us, and I mean, they revived him, but he snorted fentanyl. I mean, you talk about snorting fentanyl. I did a line of fentanyl. I mean, you want to talk about killing yourself. Yeah. We brought him back. Our law enforcement officers from city of St. Augustine put, of course, the
Narcan.
Yep, the Narcan in and brought him back to life, and he got up and back to life, and there he goes.
Wow,
just kind of crazy times. Yeah,
it is.
It is really
crazy.
It is,
yeah,
man.
9 lives,
Jeez.
But anyways, so search warrant complete. But we do that on a regular basis, but sometimes just these deplorable conditions, we want these users to know we shut that house down. So again, just another successful operation by the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office.
Well, you talk a lot about rehabilitation with prisoners and stuff. So with this kind of case here, they go through the gamut. What does that rehab look like for them?
Sure. The other thing too is we want people to want help, and I think what we've done here in what we've done in St. Johns County is our staff has changed that mentality. You can come to the jail and still be saved per se. I mean, there's deferred prosecution, there's probation, there's ways to get out of this dark hole in life. And I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big believer in it. And we've done that and showed this county by a 10% reduction in recidivism over 3.5 years. But also, like Davey just said, it's the programs, it's the outreach, it's the substance abuse, the mental health. And I think they all kind of go hand in hand. But it's us kind of opening our minds and ears. And we're not about the numbers. We're not about, successful prosecutions. We're about helping people get back on their feet. So I think we're just doing something a little bit different that's not so popular.
Yeah.
And I really don't care. If we can help people get back on their feet, get jobs, get that roof back over their head, get clothes on their bodies, get off the streets from living, then I say we're successful. If I were to say they got a 10-year prison term instead, I said, okay, so what success did we complete?
Right.
They come back out and reoffend?
Right.
And this goes for the majority of my inmate population. That 5% we always talk about, the heinous and atrocious crimes, crimes on children and, sexual battery and homicide and robbery, they're going to be dealt with just a tad bit different, but these other crimes like this, selling narcotics and abuse of narcotics and mental health issues, I think we can do that in-house and with our partnership with the state attorney's office and the clerk of the courts. Yeah. Thanks for asking that.
Yeah.
Please.
How do you work with Veterans Court? We've had some good success with Veterans Court, and I know you were involved in it from when it first started getting going.
Yeah.
So how does the Sheriff's Department interact with that Veterans Court and make sure that stays successful?
Yeah, Judge McGill, when he brought this here to St. Johns County, of course, as you know, is a 25-year veteran of the United States military. This was something I know that soldiers battle with mental health, substance abuse, and committing criminal acts just like any other citizens in the state of Florida. So when they brought this here, I've been the guest speaker there I probably a half dozen times, and I get emotional every time I go there. So we're directly involved, of course, with that, with the state attorney's office. Judge McGillen is big on, we identify our veterans as soon as they come into the St. Johns County Jail Do they get preferential treatment? No, absolutely not. They just get another chance in life, which is that drug court, to get it right. And sometimes you got to look at these resumes of these men and women that have fought for our country and go, you're in these deep, dark holes because of the places our country has put you. I'll just be honest with you. And it goes as far back as the Vietnam vets. Yeah. So I think we're doing great things. Troy, as you know, I'm all about this. Anything we can do. This mental health court's going to be another big one we're going to do here in St. Johns County as it's coming to fruition right now. And as you know,
you guys have been talking about this for a few years now.
It's actually here. It's now here. And the chief judge, Leah Case Bradley, she was a prosecutor with me when I was her homicide investigator, and she's the chief judge for the circuit. She sees that 30,000-foot view on how we can do things better, and that also helps keep our jail populations lower too, as well, as long as people do the right thing when they're out. Sure. So I think we're doing good things. Yeah, great things.
Let's transition a little bit to the youth services unit, alcohol and compliance.
Yeah.
Tobacco compliance. What's this all about?
Yeah. So of course, as you know, our 59 deputy sheriffs that work in our schools through the school year are actually not off in the summertime, but they're out of school. So we try to put them to work on things we can do. One thing I'm kind of off topic on what you asked was I've been wanting to do this teen driver challenge, and the teen driving challenge is statewide, it's nationally. I don't know why we weren't doing it here, but we're doing it here now. As of 2 days ago, 160 kids have gone through our program.
Okay.
And I get emails even yesterday. I met a lady yesterday named Jenny, and her son's turning 16, just got his new truck. He goes to St. Augustine High. I put him in the program last night through an email. That's one thing we're doing. And then the other thing we had to do was we have to figure out, how we can actually hold these businesses accountable, excuse me, for the illegal sale of these vape and the products that they're selling in these stores where they're beating the Florida state statutes by not being criminalized, held accountable for their actions by just changing the chemicals in the product. It's been going on for years. So our Youth Resource Division did a proactive undercover detail. They used a 17-year-old young man that wanted to go out there, and they're part of these pro groups in these schools that against tobacco use. And these kids aren't afraid to speak up and say, I don't believe in vaping, I don't believe in using tobacco products. So anyway, we did an undercover operation across the entire county. Had a lot of violators in there. This kid walked into a lot of stores and purchased alcohol, vape pens, products for vape pens. Yeah. So again, and we're not big on taking the owner per se or the manager to jail. We got to educate them and tell you to tone it down.
Right.
But we targeted places that we know these kids have been telling us that these are where they buy them from. So again, very successful detail run through our Youth Resource Division. And these are our deputy sheriffs that work with these kids every day. So, and also too, I think you all know this. I'm not a big fan of punishing our youth. I'm a big fan of let's get them back on their feet, and maybe they have a broken home or just not a really good structured home. And we know now that these kids come from the richest house or the poorest house. It doesn't discriminate. Good kids make bad decisions, and bad kids make bad decisions. So again, we're just trying to educate and just trying to tone this. This vaping thing makes me nervous because it's straight tobacco, straight marijuana, straight products, straight to the brain. Yeah. As we know, these kids are still developing until their early 20s, especially the boys are. Yeah. So again, we're just trying to get educate and hold these people accountable for their actions and tell them we're out there, we're doing our job, and we're going to hold you accountable for selling products to the youth. I get it.
At least letting them know that they're on your radar. So that maybe they think twice or get a little stricter about how they handle these things.
Sure. And we want them to know we're doing it too. I want them to, because everybody talks, just like anything else on social media, everybody talks and says the sheriff's office is out there doing the proactive undercover detail, and it was very, very successful. And we're getting ready to do it again. So,
are fake IDs still a thing?
Yeah, right now though, Davey. It's funny when I was, years ago, when you got a fake ID, you could look at it and be like, okay, it's almost like, I forget that movie where the white kid has the McLovin.
Right. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. He's a white man, his African American guy. His ID. I think, now these kids, and this is what I hear from my kids that, of course, I coach, and they can order these things offline, with this device right here. Yeah. You can order what you want to, you can pay what you want to, Venmo, all these accounts. So these fake IDs are legit looking. So you got to it goes all in the questioning of, oh, I see you're 24 years old. Where'd you go to college? I didn't go to college. What have you been doing for the last 4 years? Working.
Right. Yeah.
It's just, unless these kids study what's going on with that ID, it also goes to the totality of circumstances. Everybody else in the car is 16, but you happen to be 24.
Right.
Yeah.
So does the store get held accountable on something like that? Oh, they do.
License, just like that search warrant we did at the Express Mart out there in Hastings.
I remember,
it's the owner of the property that holds the full responsibility or vicarious liability for all the actions that are done on the property of and internally too as well.
Wow.
The person who sells and and the owner
Yep.
get a fine.
Yep, sure do.
So, I mean, that's why bartenders are like,
Yeah, super nervosa. Yeah, I get you.
I will tell you this though, as many bars as we have, or I shouldn't say that many restaurants that sell alcohol, we don't get a whole lot of. Is it going on? I'm sure it is. But these bartenders, these are a bunch of local people here. They want to have their job. They don't need the money to sell to kids. They don't need to.
Right.
They got plenty of adults in there buying alcohol.
Yeah.
So, and really think about it too. We got Flagler College, 3,000 students. A third is below the age of 21.
Yeah.
Just don't,
yeah,
some of these kids-
two-thirds is under. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, two-thirds would be on 21. But you take like these kids that I coach in high school football. These are men, man. They got full beards, tattoos. I mean, they look like these are men.
Yeah.
It'd be hard for me to sit in a store, and walk in there and go, how old are you, little lad?
Right.
Yeah. 14, 15 years old.
But I'll tell you, asking the questions on the ID helps. Maybe I shouldn't admit this in front of the sheriff, but I had a fake ID when I was younger. And
Allegedly?
Allegedly I did.
When I had a beard at 16.
I didn't grow hair
But
till I
I
was
did.
40.
I tried to use it at a liquor store, and the lady questioned me on my birthday. She's like, what's your birthday? And it wasn't my actual birthday, obviously. And I had to say to her, huh? What? She goes, when's your birthday?
She went,
and I think my next answer was like, oh, it's on there.
yeah.
It's on there. You can see it. And then and then she asked again, and I was like, I don't know. She said, nice try, and kept it.
Wow.
The funny thing was, of course, with the last name Hardwick around town, back when the town was much smaller, it was a little hard to get away with stuff around here. But I had a fake ID. It was a Vermont, It was a Vermont driver's license that was re-stenciled, so everything was the same, except my date of birth. Everything was the same, except for the girl I was dating at the time was a genius. She goes, only change the year. Don't change anything else. So when they question me, I'm like, you army, mean, fight machine.
Yeah.
But then once I went inside, I know your family. Yes, ma'am. I'm going to go to the car right now. Your father did my fence. Okay, I'll be back.
Yeah, you couldn't get away with that.
I hate to rat it out, but my son, my youngest son, who's 28 now, Brett, Kevin Brock, who owns Brock Fence, was my brother-in-law. He called me and says, I didn't know Brett graduated high school. I'm like, he hasn't. He's 16. Oh, okay. I'll call you back later on. I'm like, no, you won't call me back later on. Where is he at?
What is happening right now?
He used to have a little lunch liquid.
Oh, okay.
Well, Pedro was calling us going, have you seen your son today? Yes.
Yep.
We have one place that everybody knew that they could go to, and it was the barn. It was the place you could drive through, and like you could point to it, and say, "Oh, bring it to your car." And the guy just didn't care.
Nah,
it's like
business.
Well, from his country, it didn't matter. He didn't care, and he would sell it pretty much.
Did you drive through old Mr. Baxter's house on the west side back in the day?
No. Well, I was already 21 when I got here.
You want to hear something fast forward, right? So as a young man around town, the thing was you could go to Mr. Baxter's house on the west side, and Mr. Baxter, you basically pull up to the side window, you order a drink, it's in a cup, usually like a McDonald's cup, and you drive away, So we did this as kids.
Wow.
And I say kids, we were driving, so, we were adults, right? 16. But anyway, so fast forward, I get in homicide. Mr. Baxter gets murdered. Remember this?
Oh,
he was shot out the window.
Oh,
the drive-up house. Yeah, I mean, fast forward, I get called. I'm like, Mr. Baxter. I don't know that. I get there, I'm like, oh my God. I remember my car pulling in there.
Oh, wow.
And he was such a nice man. He always go, how old are you? 21. That's right. All right, what you want, boy? Yeah.
See, it was 19 when I was.
Yes. He just changed for me.
Well, see, I think it means a lot that, you understand where these kids are coming from. You understand what they're trying to do to get around the law.
Yep.
So this just helps better protect kids and better crack down on people that are doing this stuff.
It's not about making an arrest. It's about educating people.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure. Let's see. You guys got some new motorcycles that everybody's really raving about.
Yeah, it's just, and again, just like any fleet, with any business, of course, you roll over, motorcycles, helicopters, boats, our patrol cars.
Yeah.
And the same thing with the motors. The motors were due up, of course, for rollover or rollout, I should say, as far as like trading them out, getting new ones. So our team decided to, again, this was on them. They really did a great job. And Cal, who runs our fleet over there, they basically went blacked out motors because that chrome is so hard to keep clean.
Okay.
Yeah, so they decided to go all blacked out, basically, and Adamak Harley Davidson has been phenomenal with us, but went all blacked out. If you look at them on the picture on the on our Facebook page, they went all blacked out, and it's been a hit. So I'm real close with Wayne Ivey, who's a sheriff in Brevard County. He's a motor man.
Okay.
So that day, my unit, when we rolled out the new motors, I actually called him on the phone, and we took some photos of our phone. And he talked so much trash because he has a blacked out motor, but ours is just better. So again,
there they are. Those are nice.
Just new branding really of our motors, and it's just another little things you do for our people. And people's like, we're wasting money. No, we're wasting money. It's the same expense for a Harley, whether it's blacked out or it's chromed out. We just this is a morale booster. By the way, we're trying to set the example. We are the gold standard, St. Johns County Sheriff's Office, and we want people to be a part of that unit. We want them to be proud.
Why is a motorcycle so significant?
Well, the motorcycle, first of all, of course, it can get around here in St. Johns County. It's not that it hides, because everybody in St. Johns County with their modern apps know where our motors sit at running traffic.
Waze will tell us.
Seriously, right.
Yeah.
But the goal is to slow people down, and the goal is, and if it takes the Waze app to say the cops are sitting on US 1,
right? You're still going to slow down.
You're darn right. You're
still going to slow down. Yeah.
And the motor unit's not an easy unit. Those are guys that just don't give a lot of warnings, right? They give a lot of tickets, and that's what their job is. When you go to motors, your job is to slow this aggressive driving down in St. Johns County, and I'm proud because of their effort. And of course, you saw the blacked out cars in the background too in that picture. On the traffic unit and our deputy sheriffs that work in the MARC units, but we reduced crashes in St. Johns County by 15%. Doesn't sound like a lot, but our population has increased by 43% in 10 years. So that's a significant decrease. So again, they have a great job. They're great. They're they're a bunch of characters in that unit, by the way, and they are very loyal to Rob Hardwick and the profession that they do. So they look like a bunch of goons. They're all the same size. They're like 6 foot big guys.
They're intimidating, man. They're very intimidating, but that's what you want. Nobody's going to mess with those guys.
Great guys. The goal is, again, to slow that traffic, calm that traffic down, let people know we're out there enforcing the law, and we're not going to turn a blind eye to things that are going to cause people to die, which is what happens when you speed.
Yeah.
So
I want to get into the DUI side of that here pretty soon, but first we got to do a little bit of business here. And give you the Gas Buddy gas report. Let us know in the comments where you are seeing good prices for gas. We would definitely appreciate the check-in there. And we will... look at that. That's...
I got your fake ID back.
That is great.
I need to change my Twitter picture.
Wow. 73 is a great year.
Where in Hawaii are you from?
Okay, we can take that. Gas Buddy gas report, the gate at 4075 US 1 North. My fake ID was way better than that.
God, I hope so.
It was from Tennessee.
What was your birthday?
Yeah, still moving on. Yeah. Moving on. The gate at 4075 US 1 North is at 334. The Owens at 780 South Ponce, 334 as well. The Shell at 146 King Street, 334. The Sunoco at 450 South Ponce, 337.
Like Nacho Libre.
Okay. You're doing great. I hate this job. I hate that all my friends are here while the sheriff of St. Johns County is making fun of me.
Don't call me the sheriff. I'm your friend.
Oh, man.
We're amongst friends.
Sunoco at 450 South Ponce is at 337.
The funniest jokes are the true ones.
Rick, can you put a mask on that picture from Nacho Libre?
I think that was actually my OnlyFans picture. I don't know how you guys found that.
It just got super hot in here.
It really did. I'm 2 shades darker after that. The Sicko at 1099 South Ponce at 349. And the Shell at 2350.
Oh, Lord.
That's going to be a clip later. Carter, make sure you get ready to cut that into a clip. That's awful. All right, 349 at the Shell.
Okay, good stuff.
Enya.
If you go to jail for using a fake ID, Chris Lucero will get you out of jail, no matter if you look like Nacho Libre or not. She's available for you 24/7 to provide fast and mucho good service.
Mucho bueno.
There you go, 24/7. Chris Lucero bail bonds, 904-822-BAIL. We got some live music happening today.
Me too. Out of my head now. Jeez, we got to see it, please.
No, do not put that back up. No.